Hi chat and welcome to this video, where I will be going over the insane state of Scarlet Lady's finale. Now in case some of you don't remember, what exactly is Scarlet Lady? Scarlet Lady is a MLBAU comic made by Zoe Oni-sama that gives Chloe the ladybug in order to make her even worse than she was before. Now I have a lot of thoughts about this comic and its conclusion, so let's begin. First off, let's look at the layout for the final episodes. As we can see, the ending is essentially Queen's Battle and Hero's Day combined, so that's an interesting build-up. Now I'll be skipping over most parts of the episodes while recapping and only mentioning the brief important bits because they're largely the same as in canon. To begin with Maledictator, this episode is the formal introduction to Zoe, and she still has her little arc about pretending to be different for her family and not really knowing who she is, which is honestly a nice starting point for her character. Also, she cares about Chloe, so that's nice. Next up is Style Queen, during which Chloe gets turned into glitter and Zoe takes over her role for the rest of the episode. Also suddenly Ladrien. Now here's where you would expect things to get more interesting, but they really don't. Chloe reveals her identity to the shock of absolutely nobody and then proceeds to get bullied in public, go home and accidentally throw the earrings at Zoe before getting akumatized. Then Zoe just gives the earrings to Mari and Queen Wasp is defeated easily. Hero's Day is the part where the plot and most of my personal complaints kick in. The episode starts by showing that Zoe still cares about Chloe, but also understands that others have suffered because of her, which would be a really powerful moment if it wasn't also bustier salt simultaneously. Anyways, a random Blanc Noir cameo causes the Scarlet Akumas to spread so far that LB decides to give Zoe the bee, this time 3 whole episodes after her introduction. The face of scene from Catalyst is then recreated with Vesperia there for some reason. After some feudal fighting with the Akumas, Parisians start to resist and Zoe the author at one point says something that I honestly perfectly agree with. Yeah, screw derision. The existence of that episode ruined like 4 different characters. Eventually Fu uses time travel to hand out the miraculous to all heroes and LB and chat face down Queen Wasp on the Eiffel Tower, who gets the same redemption speech as Hawkmoth. She obviously refuses and Hawkmoth's cane is broken thanks to the other heroes. But Scarlet Wasp remains somehow. Chloe has the peacock, loses the bracelet with the Amok, commits murder against Senti Wasp, and then dies from miraculous inflicted wounds, coughing up blood that doesn't look like anything else in this art style. It's actually kind of scary. But, in a way, this is a genius way to end Chloe's life on a bittersweet note. Sure, she may have been terrible to some people, but she was also a victim of indulgent and negligent adults around her. The last things she did perfectly reflect that. She destroyed Senti Wasp like so many others in her presence were harmed by her toxicity and then died due to Gabriel giving her the peacock indulging her, yet being too negligent to warn her of danger. And even the instrument of her death is similar to what brought her so far in the first place, a miraculous. Her mind fell to the ladybug's power, not because of pressure but because it enhanced her narcissistic tendencies. Truly a poetic ending, that gives so much depth to Chloe. And then she fucking survived. Also, Adrien beat the shit out of his dad in a really underwhelming way. Anyways, this leaves us with a huge problem. Chloe can't stay in Paris because the whole city suffered because of her. She can't leave because that would just be the season 5 finale and that was bullshit, and she can't die because the author doesn't want a 14-year-old to die, I guess. So the only way to keep her story going is by giving Audrey a redemption arc. And also calling her a Tsunere for some reason. Oh yeah, also Chloe is fine because Natalie can just use the peacock to undo the effects of broken miraculi apparently. Also Emily is now back from the dead. Yay, epilogue time. The most unhinged and questionable epilogue of all time. Chloe's whole family has left to go to therapy outside of Paris, so you know what else we can focus on. Bustier salt, and also Felagami bashing. Based on Zoe Oni-sama calling it a last-minute pairing, I can only assume it's being called rushed here, because the pacing for all other miraculous ships is so impeccable. Also, remember how Emily is alive now? Yeah, she has main character syndrome. Also, she's a weeb, I guess. Natalie is going around as Myura causing mayhem for no reason, and due to some shenanigans Julka ends up with the ladybug, and she calls herself Lady Luck. Now I'm not accusing Zoe of anything, but another story about Chloe getting the ladybug is called exactly that, Lady Luck, and I'm quite fond of it. You can give it a read if you want to. But also now when people hear miraculous Lady Luck, they're probably gonna think of this epilogue first, which is just no. Also a bit of information that's entering dude trust me territory, but once someone wrote an ask for this blog complaining about the treatment of Bustier and Emily, cuz in canon they're portrayed as kind and benevolent, but in this story they're anything but. And you know what Zoe answered? That it's cute that they believe what the show's telling them. Just reminding you, this is a comic about Chloe being a spawn of Satan, which also once contained an excuse for Mary's creepy behavior in the show. So yeah, do I like the Scarlet Lady finale? Not really, to be honest. I understand that stuff like letting Chloe die for the story potential is very much too morbid for what this comic is trying to do, but I felt the final confrontation is sort of lacking. Not to mention we still don't have a conclusion for Adrian's home life improving or something like that. But yeah, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments and bye.